Hi guys, welcome to day 5 of our daily Devos, and we now only have one day before Christmas, so I just want to greet you Merry Christmas. And it's so easy to say that Merry Christmas, and usually Christmas is referred to as the most wonderful time of the year. But for this year, for many of us, it actually is the loneliest time of the year, you know? This year, so many things have happened from the start of the pandemic to natural disasters, the typhoons, and not just that, but some of us have experienced loss of a loved one, financial issues, maybe even dysfunctional families, and a lot of us are struggling with our mental health. And it's so easy to kind of just lose hope. I mean, there's so many reasons to lose hope. There's so many things that happened this year that might have rocked us. But yeah, it's so easy to have lost hope this year. And we might be at that point where we're asking, God, where are you? God, do you even care? Are you still in control? Where are you in all of these things happening? It reminds me of a time from the Bible during Moses' time. So during his time, the Israelites, or God's people, were being treated so harshly by the king. The king was oppressing them. He really didn't want the Israelites to grow because he was afraid that if the Israelites grew, that he would lose power. So what he did was that he enslaved them. He started treating them harshly. He even started to kill and murder babies so that they would stop growing. And the Israelites had so much troubles then, so much sufferings, and they came to that point as well where they were doubting, like, God, where are you? I just want to share with you a verse. It's in Hosea 11, verse 1. It says, when Israel was a child, I loved him. And out of Egypt, I called my son. It says here that God loved Israel. And so he did something about it. He saw the suffering that Israel was going through. And because he loved them, he did something. So what he did was he sent Moses. He sent Moses to lead them out of Egypt. Yeah. That's what I want you to focus on right now. That God saw the suffering. He saw everything that was happening in Israel, what they were going through, the devastation, the heartbreak. Could you just imagine the heartbreak they might have felt when they were losing their own kids, right? And they were doubting God, but since God loved them, he saw what was happening and he did something. He sent somebody to them. And this Christmas, Christmas is just a day away. And I just want to encourage you that since God cared for his people, he sent Moses, right? And 2,000 years ago, because God loved us, he sent Jesus to save us from our sin. So it says in Matthew 2, verses 14 and 15. So he got up, so Joseph took the child and his mother during the night and escaped to Egypt. And he stayed there until Herod's death, so that what was spoken by the Lord through the prophet might be fulfilled. Out of Egypt, I called my son. And this is so amazing because God saw us. God saw the brokenness, the state of us. And he saw that we were headed towards the path of going to eternal separation with him in hell. But since God loved us, he did something about it. And he sent us Jesus, who ended up paying for that penalty by getting crucified on the cross. And what this means for us, it's so encouraging, it's because what we can get from this, what we can learn from this is that God sees the things that we're going through and he cares. He's not just this distant hope. He's not just a God who is hovering over the universe, observing and watching all this devastation happening, but he's involved and he is invested in your life and he cares about your life. And that's why he sent Jesus. With all the things that have been happening this year, it becomes so easy for us to just isolate and, not tell anybody or feel like we're all by ourselves in the problems that we're facing. And maybe today, maybe you're feeling hopeless right now, and maybe you felt hopeless this entire year. But I want to encourage you and say that God cares about the things that you're going through. He does, he cares. And that you can talk to God about everything that you're growing through. And so I want to ask you, I want to take this time to ask you, what are the things in your life that you feel hopeless in? Maybe it's your mental health, maybe it's the dysfunctional families, or maybe a financial issue. What are the things in your life that rocked you this 2020? I want you to think about that for a second, and now I want to encourage you and say that you can pray to God about all of these things, and you can trust that He's working in these things because He cares. Like, He doesn't just see, but He cares. And God might not always answer the way that we want Him to, but we can rest because we can rest and trust that if He cares and if He sees everything that's happening, that means He's also working behind the scenes. That means that I can wait for Him to answer. And so I hope that encourages you. And I hope as we enter this day that you could spend this time then to read the verses that will flash on the screen later, so that you can enjoy a deeper time of prayer and just seeking God about all of these things. So, yeah, Merry Christmas, and I hope that you enjoy the time that you have with God today. God bless, guys.